You're watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Weather is at the top of our list of Big 7 at 7 stories for you tonight with another evening of thunderstorms. Matter of fact, we've been keeping a close watch outside for you tonight, and some of you may have already heard some of the thunder passing overhead and have had to deal with some pretty strong downpours. I want to get you updated on what you can expect for the rest of the night. I'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Ken Weathers.
Hey, Bo, good news is I don't see any active severe thunderstorm warnings across the area right now, but flash flooding still could be a concern in spots, especially in Monroe County up into Loudoun County. Look at the 2.5 to 3 inches of rainfall being estimated here, and the flash flood warning still goes until 8:45 for this area from Addison all the way up to just west of the Greenback area. Let me show you. There's still a little bit of lingering rain there. An isolated storm in Sevier County. A storm also in Fentress County. That one packing a little bit of a punch there near Glenobie at 619, Cumberland Grove at 626. And then some steadier, heavier rain in the Southern Valley that unfortunately is moving back towards the north. So we could be talking about additional heavy rainfall in some areas as we go over the next couple of hours. Notice by 10 o'clock, some moderate rain across portions of the plateau, sliding up into southeast Kentucky and weakening by 2 a.m. But I still am concerned there could be some rain in spots overnight in southeast Kentucky that could lead to some isolated flooding in some spots. There's still a flood watch in effect for our southeast Kentucky counties till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow afternoon, a lot like today. It's hot, it's humid, highs upper 80s, feeling more like triple digits or close to it. And once again, there'll be some scattered storms around as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. I'll talk about that and when we see a bit of a break coming up in just a minute, Bill.
All right, Ken, thank you. Next on our Big 7 list, keeping students safe as they go back to class Monday here in Knox County. The idea is nothing new. Unfortunately, the phenomenon of school shootings is not new either since the shocking attack at a school in Uvalde, Texas. The investigation later raising serious questions. How was the gunman able to get inside so easily? And why didn't the hundreds of law enforcement officers at the scene act more quickly? Well, back here in Knox County this morning, school leaders, including the superintendent and security chief, KPD Chief Paul Noel and Sheriff Tom Spangler, standing side by side, taking turns discussing safety improvements. KPD says it will show a major presence for back to school, and when school starts this year, the district will have the most security officers it has ever had. But Superintendent Dr. John Reiswick once more.
There is no better way to make schools safe than to have a highly trained officer in every school. So I have asked our newly created talent acquisition team to focus on actively increasing their recruitment of military veterans, and I'm also proposing an extension of a paid military leave for up to 30 days of any SSO or other employee serving as a reservist.
Our partnership with each other is paramount to make sure that we're in contact with each other as well, to make sure that if we have any issues or we have concerns that we're sitting down at the table and making sure we work those out. But
now, the superintendent is calling for KPD and the sheriff's office to perform an annual audit of every school and district safety plan. The district is also relaunching an anonymous tip line that will be monitored 7 days a week, and security cameras have gotten upgrades as well. Reiswick thanked the school board and county commission for approving $4.7 million for school security, allowing for 22 new officers within the security division. Meanwhile, the governor is still encouraging parents to download the SafeTN app. The governor says it's an easy way for parents across the state, not just Knox County, to quickly report school safety concerns. We're told tips are vetted by law enforcement 24/7. Sticking with schools for our next Big 7 story, a new initiative at Knox County Schools aims to transform the high school experience. The district is launching the 865 Academies in 7 high schools this year. Incoming 9th graders at Fulton High School had the chance to learn about the different career-themed academies at today's freshman orientation. The first step in the process is the Freshman Academy, which is designed to welcome students to high school and provide smaller learning communities. Then their teachers will help them select an academy pathway for grades 10 through 12. These classes will be combined with learning experiences that bring industry partners into the school, as well as visits to colleges and job sites. Fulton High's Academy coach says she's excited for students to engage in new ways.
And what this academy model is going to be able to allow us to do is get them connected in a way that's relevant, that provides relevance for students, because they can see, oh, well, if he can do that, then I can do that. Or if she can do that, then I can do that. And so it allows them to go and kind of move forward and think, this is an option for me when I graduate.
Students will be able to choose from a number of academy pathways, including health sciences, communications, public service, and skilled professions. For other districts, today was the first school bell. Districts including Roane, Jefferson, Lenoir City, Clinton City, Monroe County, Claiborne, Greene County schools, all back in session. Our next big story for you tonight, heartbreak in the Smokies as a UT student and National Guardsman has now been found dead. 23-year-old Bryce Evans had been reported missing. Earlier in the day, we learned his car had been found. Now we're finding out from the National Park Service that Evans's body was found about 1.5 miles away from the Balsam Mountain trailhead where his car was parked. We're told searchers found Evans was about 20 yards off the trail. That's a remote section of the park on the North Carolina side. Evans's last known location was in the Cherokee, North Carolina area where his family said his cell phone pinged a tower. We're told Evans left Knoxville for Charlotte, North Carolina. Of course, we'll keep you posted as more information comes to light. Next now on our Big 7 story for you, a way to potentially pay for increased costs at the downtown multi-use stadium project. Last week, backers of the project showed us new, slimmed-down designs, trimming square footage to save as costs rise and supply chain issues slow the process. Today, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs and Knoxville Mayor India Kincannon are each throwing their support now behind an effort to drum up extra funding, making the tax district for the stadium project bigger. A tax district like the one in mind for the Knoxville Stadium uses new tax revenue created by new investment and development to help pay for public infrastructure and other improvements within the district.
Any new revenue that's generated from property tax in this area, so this will be new property tax revenue because of new private investment, and that new property tax revenue then is, just as Mr. Caldwell was saying, invested directly back into public infrastructure and public amenities in that community.
And as the stadium project continues to push forward, Mayor Kincannon is saying, quote, the public benefits of the stadium must outweigh the costs, and we're assuring that that's in fact what's happening, end quote. Votes and a public hearing, by the way, are each scheduled to happen later this month. Meanwhile, we're being told Randy Boyd will pay more money for the stadium project up front. However, the city says he will not be increasing his original $46 million commitment. Get you up to date on right now. Our next Big 7 story takes us to eastern Kentucky, where the impacts of recent floods are still all too real. And now President Biden set to make a trip to see the devastation firsthand. This is coming up on Monday. The First Lady will be traveling with him as well. And the Associated Press says the two will also meet families who have been affected. President Biden is also set to meet with Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear and Kentucky officials. Now, more than 1,300 people were rescued in the days after the flooding hit. Helicopters and boats taking people to safety. At least 37 people, we understand, have now died in the floods, and some survivors do not have a home to go back to. So tomorrow night, after our 11 o'clock newscast, keep it right here on WATE. We're going to bring you a special called Tragedy in the Mountains. It will also offer you ways to help those affected by the devastating flooding in eastern Kentucky. A QR code, like the one you see displayed right here, will be displayed so you can make donations during that program. Again, Tragedy in the Mountains coming up for you tomorrow night at 11:30. Rounding out the Big 7 for us right now, a big reveal at Dollywood. The park has been giving us hints about a new attraction all week on social media. Today, Dolly herself was on hand to announce a new roller coaster. WAT 6 on your side reporter Kristen Gallant was there for a preview of what's in store.
Wildwood Grove is part of Dollywood's $500 million expansion, and guess what? They're adding more. Right over here, this construction site will soon be Big Bear Mountain in 2023. The roller coaster goes along with the story. Families will embark on a journey to find Big Bear by riding the almost 4,000-foot-long coaster. The ride is a part of the multi-million-dollar expansion that Dollywood announced last year. Dolly says she's excited for the new experiences families will be able to have at the park, but she probably won't be riding the coaster herself.
Oh, I know the families are going to really enjoy it. Like I said, if I get on that thing, if I wear my wigs in the top of the tree.
The ride will also help with the flow of traffic, giving people more attractions to enjoy in the park. Reporting at Dollywood, Kristen Gallant, WATE 6 on your side.
Kristen, thank you. Kristen mentioned the story that comes with the ride, and while Dolly isn't likely to hop on board, you heard her there mention about her wigs. Today we heard from a park spokesman that Dolly was involved with the storytelling aspect and that she reviews all the park's projects, offering her feedback.